December, the time is 7 o'clock, and we are here for the Macclesfield Town Council Services Committee. Going to go straight into item 1, which is apologies for absence.
Councillor Fiona Wilson.
Thank you. Item 2, any declarations of interest at all from councillors? No. Okay. If the committee is accepted by this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring item 7.7 to a public speaking, because we've got
Lee.
Sorry, I forgot your name. We've got Lee here from Macclesfield Town Community Football Trust to talk to us about item 7.7, fitness for the future. So, when you're ready.
Do I need to stand?
However you want to present.
I believe that you've had this via email, is that
Yes.
right? So let me just explain sort of who we are for people who don't know. So we're Macclesfield Football Club Community Sports Trust. We're the charity element of the football club and a registered charity in our own right, a separate business. We go out into the local community and do different things across Macclesfield and Cheshire East, and we are your street sports partners as we are at the moment. So we go out into the local community and do different things. So please don't think it's just football, as much as I'm standing here with my shorts on, and we're part of the football club. We don't just do football, we do different activities and sports, education, etc. across Cheshire East. So we are looking for a little bit of support in regards to some of the sessions that we do across Macclesfield. So as an example, some of the sessions that we are continually doing and extending are on this. Has everyone got this, by the way? Have you all seen it? Yeah? Okay. As an example, we go into local care facilities and supported housing networks and put on different physical activity sessions for them on a weekly basis. So one of those is the Mayfield Centre, where every week on a Friday we go in and we've got about 10 to 12 different people that are there from the Mayfield Centre and the supported housing networks, and we go in and actually deliver different physical activities for them. That brings them out of their supported housing, it obviously brings them to us on a main site. So again, not just from the physical aspect of us actually doing the session and getting them involved in the games, but it's also about obviously the camaraderie and getting them out and obviously the sociability of those sessions. We've also got our walking football sessions that we do twice a week. One is essentially in Macclesfield at Lifestyle Fitness behind Macclesfield College, and the other one is in Congleton, so ignore that. So our walking football sessions are really popular, in which local male and females can be any age. We don't discriminate like some of us do in regards to walking football. So they come to us and we put on the session. So we're just, what time is it? 7 o'clock. So we're just about to start it in half an hour's time. We get approximately 12, maximum 20 come into the session. We've got over 40 that are signed up to the programme. And it's a turn up and play session where again we just sort of obviously put the football session on. There's a little bit of a warm up and physical activity at the beginning, and then obviously we just get straight into what we're going to do in regards to walking football, which is a little bit different. If you've not played it, or if you have, then you kind of know why. It's possibly the most frustrating football game you can play as an ex-footballer and someone who coaches football, because you just want to run all the time. However, it is still quite physically strenuous in regards to the amount of walking that people do. Linked into that, we've got our pan disability sessions that we do on a Tuesday evening. These are for different age groups, so we've got 2 that happen at the same time. One is for under 16s and one is for over 16s. So this is anybody that's got a learning disability. As the FA call it, it's pan football, but we also do different sports within that session. What we're trying to generate from that is an actual sports club, be that football team or a different sport, where we can actually put those players, those participants into an actual environment where they're playing against different teams. So we're working quite closely with a number of organisations to do that, and we've done sessions at Space for Autism and with Friends for Leisure to try and generate some more participants to come down. Again, we probably get about 12 maximum a week, and again that's like a turn up and play session. So as you can see, we do different things across the board, but that is what we are looking for in regards to this. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you very much for all the
No worries.
I was just about to ask if there were any questions or comments from the councillors. Feel free. Councillor Lewis.
Yeah, so this is for a 6-month pilot.
Yeah.
And if that goes well, how do you plan to sustain the cost of staffing?
So fingers crossed, if the football club get promoted, then we get a lot of our external funding back. So at the moment, and since I've been in running the community trust, then we've not been getting that external funding. So we've been a little bit proactive to go out there and do different things. So if Robbie pulls his fingers out and the lads do, and we get promoted back to the National League North, then we can tap into a couple more streams that we haven't had previously. There's about £100,000 there that we can go and apply for, which will help and support. However, in regards to all 3 of those sessions, we are in discussions with other organisations to be part of our sponsorship programme, which we haven't done before as a community trust. So we're actually working with those at the moment to put a package together that after the pilot, obviously then we can still have a pot of money that will make it sustainable continuously.
Thank you.
Anybody else? No. Has anyone got happy to propose the follow-up of the 6-month pilot? Yes. Anybody happy to second? Councillor Warren. So we'll take that to the vote. All those in favour of the pilot? That's unanimously carried. We look forward to hearing reports in the future and hope everything goes well with that.
Well, thank you very much.
You're more than welcome to stay the rest
For a little bit,
Not too
what's
long.
happening?
Okay, so moving back through the agenda, item 3 is the minutes of the Services Committee meeting held on the 2nd of September 2024. Let's look through those minutes. Do I have a proposer? Councillor Barry Lake, seconder. Councillor Livingston, thank you very much. All those in favour? So we're able to, any abstentions? Thank you very much. That the unanimous carried. Any matters arising from the minister meeting? No. Okay. Moving on, item 5 is community, and we are looking at the community engagement event.
So I have some updates from the Assistant Town Clerk who can't be here.
Thank you.
So for the community engagement update, she said lots of volunteers helped at the Step Into Christmas and have been a wonderful support. We've had 4 more inquiries about joining the team in November alone. Still working with the food coordination lead from CBS because they're trying to get the food groups to work together rather than in silos. So we're trying to bring everybody together so that we can understand the current provision and where the actual gaps are. And this will include reviewing all grant applications when it comes to food. So maybe getting the Food Network to look at them, the grant applications as well, before they're agreed or before they come to committee, just to make sure that, you know, the groups are trying to work together best to cover the gaps. And then for CVS, she's just put their continued support is valuable in the town, including Dave Artspace and Suse, who've been helping. They also review grant applications for us, and they will review and help you with grant applications for anybody as well. That's a service they offer to secure the future funding for different organisations.
Thank you very much. Just going back to the volunteers, obviously I was in town on Saturday for the 7th Christmas, and the volunteers as well as the staff were working very hard, issued handing out crackers and maps and all sorts. So I think from this committee we'd like to pass our thanks on to all volunteers. Anybody that's watching this meeting, if you'd like to volunteer, drop an email into the Town Council and we'll give more information. Can't do all without our volunteers. Any comments or questions about the community? No?
Yeah, just you stole the words right out of my mouth, Chair. shop, and I think it's really good for them. They really enjoy it. It's good to give something back.
Okay, so moving on to item 6, the local service delivery. Item 6.1, our events update from our events officer.
Not a lot to talk about this time, which is a change. So since the last meeting we had Spooky Saturday, which is our Halloween event, which seems like a really long time ago now. It was only a month ago. But it was a lovely day. Like, weather was on our side, beautifully golden day. It was really busy in town. We had 45 local businesses taking part in the pumpkin trail, which is sort of the centre point of the event. Everything else comes out of that. So 45 local businesses, they all had their own pumpkin to carve. There were some spectacular takes on the brief. I took a photo of every one of them. They were just amazing. And it was so popular that we printed 300 maps, and we ran out of maps. We had to run upstairs and print more maps and get extra prizes from the back, and just it was lovely. Very, very busy and very buzzy. We had a few new things this time. We had a professional pumpkin carver come and carve 3 pumpkins, I think he did for us on the day, and he also brought a couple for display. And we then had a free raffle so people could win those pumpkins to take home and display. It was lovely outside, and it was amazing. We had our Jurassic walking puppets, which were, we had a T-Rex and 2 raptors. In a sort of, if you've ever seen, I describe it as a sort of war horse style puppet show. So there's a person inside and they're moving all the parts. And yeah, really impressive. Lots of screaming kids, which is what Halloween is all about. And of course we had the Crafty Crypt art space doing that, which was busy as always busy, always people on. So it was a lovely day. It was very nice. We had some lovely feedback on the report there from some local businesses who took part in the trail, which is very nice to hear. And a lot of them are on the new trail, the Advent Trail, which started yesterday. And then step into Christmas, which has just happened. So nothing in the report about it because it was 2 days ago, but it was busy, nice, very warm, lots of activity, lots of people in town, lots of music, fun, walk routes. Yeah, a very, very nice Christmassy day.
It was indeed. Yeah, so I spent quite a lot of time in town on Saturday. For me, it was nice to see town busy. The craft workshop, all space in the new area. There was comments that I heard that area was better than the previous shop that we've had. It's brighter, it's a bit more, bit warmer as well. And yeah, just to see the community getting behind what we do for Christmas always amazes me, or tickles me that people are still saying, when the lights been switched on? At some point during the day. I think the town council commented 5 years we've not had the light switch on. So yeah, no, again, thank you for your stern efforts of events that have happened all this year, not just those in reports, and we look forward to events in the future. Any other comments or questions? Councillor Brother?
Just to say, the events are just brilliant, and you can go across to places in the surrounding area, go to Greater Manchester, go down to Crewe, etc. And there is a lot of recognition for the events that we put on, which shows that the town council we are really doing everything we can to deliver. And huge credit to yourself, Rachel, and all the team for all the work you do. I particularly enjoyed the Christmas event, including the Brussels sprout picture. Thanks, Abby. That was a bit of a shock. I think Rebecca was more shocked than I was. She looked absolutely shell-shocked, but it was a really good atmosphere and everyone seemed to enjoy it. And also the summary video on social media, which I've seen today, is brilliant as well, which really summed up how much of a festive atmosphere there was. So it was great to be part of kicking off Christmas for the town and beyond. So well done everyone who was involved.
Councillor Berwick?
Yeah, I think the idea of not having a specific switch on time is I've seen it with other town centres where I've gone to their switch on, and I'll admit I've turned up 5 minutes before and left 5 minutes after, and then there's big traffic jams. Whereas as we were sort of coming into town, we could see younger families with little ones coming home because they'd come for the early parts of the day. And then as we were going home after all the dancing, there was youths and older families coming in, sort of getting ready to go out for the evening. All the cafes and restaurants look packed, the shops were packed. So it was really good it was a really buzzing day, and I had a fabulous time, so thank you everybody.
Just to again put on the comments to what you just mentioned about other towns, I think you seem to remember probably 6 or 7 years ago I attended the light switch on. I think I turned up for that, and it was like sardines, the marketplace, and you're trying to scramble to get out. So I think obviously it works what we do here in Macclesfield. I'm proud of what we do, and I'd like to see it continue long after councillor or whatever. So thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah, I think just echoing the comments that you said, it's very creative, takes a lot of work, and there's definitely quite a lot of imagination going into this. I think that when you see the other towns trying to copy us, which I think they are, you look at what Knutsford does, but it isn't half as, not even close to being as good.
Chair, probably worth thanking the mayor as well because he had a busy day that day.
I don't know, I think I only saw him for on stage.
Never did very much, I just did a bit of talking.
Thank you very much.
I declared what I was doing afterwards.
Yeah, thank you for your efforts as well on Saturday. What have you ended up doing after the stage? Oh, let me see. So moving on, 6.2 is the floral displays.
So as you can see, the last time I think we had a meeting it was pre-Britain in Bloom, and now we have loads more goals again, which is fantastic. Credit to Abby and Nicola, who were leading on Britain in Bloom with the committee. So gold small city, gold for town centre, gold for the pocket park, gold retail establishment, gold tourist attraction, silver gilt for Victoria Park. To be fair, that was ANZA. But still very good that it's their first time in. And we also got a special award for best art in the community that we didn't actually enter. Britain in Bloom themselves entered us because they'd seen it and liked it, so they picked us for that. So really, really brilliant again for the town. And yeah, we'll continue. And then the winter bedding's been done. We've reduced the 3-tier planters to 2-tier planters because they keep being knocked over. And the rangers, Damon was saying that when they're shorter, they're harder to knock over. Basically, it's science. So we've took the top tier off to see if that works, because they would get in on a Monday quite often to having to pick them up. But also we should, with the Mac on Foot project, be getting new planters anyway, something more like we have on Castle Street. So yeah, winter bedding all done. We just wait for the Mac on Foot project to put in new planters, etc. Which will probably be New Year.
Thank you very much. I think since you remember this time last year we were discussing 3 goals, and now we're sat here with a plethora of awards from Britain in Bloom. Again, special thanks to obviously Rachel, Abby, Town Rangers,
Yes.
and all the volunteers who helped for our Britain in Bloom entry. Just goes to show from I think our first entries when we won silver, the hard work and dedication to those who are green-minded goes a long way. So our thanks again to all those involved. Any other comments or questions?
Just to say, just want to give a little shout out to the Silk Museum. We've got a small tourist attraction, Sandra Road,
I
was there
know.
on Saturday. I was so disappointed I missed her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, we are a little town, but we've got all these great things going on and fabulous people coming to see them as well.
Exactly.
Okay, item 6.3 is the festoons.
So the main addition to the festoons will be from the Mac on Foot project. They're going up January and February, and they'll be going up. We're adding the bottom of Chestergate, so this part here. The festoons will be added there. And for those who are doing the Christmas lights, which is the next thing, the tender, it's just when you do them, you'll have to consider that there'll be festoons up there as well. So you might want to do things a bit differently. You might not have the across, might It's your choice, but just saying there'll be festoons there all year round, but they'll have to be incorporated into whatever we do for Christmas as well.
Thank you very much. Any comments? No. Just looking forward to the festoons. We
Yes.
bring more lights to the town, especially on these darker evenings.
Yeah.
Item 6.4 has just been touched on. Christmas lights.
So the tender's out. We've had Helena, the assistant town clerk's managing this tender. She's had a few different people contact. We do it now, even though the tender doesn't close till February, so they can see what we have. So we get quite a lot of people visiting to look at what we've got and how it works. So Helen will be busy doing that, and then in February there'll be a 3-year tender go out. It's interesting because I've had a couple of emails of people saying that why haven't we changed Christmas lights for the past 20 years? And this is only the 3rd year we've had them. They tend to change every. We've put a 3-year contract out, so we try to. You know, when you're at home, you don't change your whole decoration every year. You maybe do it every 2-3 years. So, you know, I can assure you they've changed.
So are you meant to change them every few years?
Well, apparently, I don't know, but they certainly do look lovely, and you know, it's a big job. There's a lot of safety. There's a lot of brackets. Everything has to be tested. It's a huge job for Helena to manage. I mean, even on Saturday, there was little issues. She's having to ring people and get them in and sort it out. So it is a big job, but they look lovely and people really enjoy them. So tenders out, everything's, you know, ticking over on that side.
Thank you very much. Any comments or questions? No? Okay, moving on, item 7 is leisure and outdoor activities, and we will start 7.1 parks and play areas.
So I think on here there is an action. If you remember, we decided to give Titherington some money of the £100,000 budget. They, Councillor Edwards has obtained a quote from external companies that comes to 98,000, and you agreed to give them 60. There is 100,000 in the budget. 98,000 would do Sandwich Drive and Holcombe Park, both of his little play areas. If you didn't, then they'd have to do one area and probably not the other. But even if you did, because ANZA manage these areas, ANZA would have to get quotes themselves. So David's got an indicative quote of what it would cost for what he wants. But ANZA would still have to go through a process of getting quotes. So he's aware that would slow it down. So the action is to consider a further 38,000 for Titherington on top of the 60,000 they already have to go towards the parks and play areas of Titherington.
£2,000 left.
£2,000 left, yes. You could put that in reserves.
Councillor Warren.
So I'm going to question this because I don't doubt David's enthusiastic, but has he got the ability to negotiate a price for a project that we don't own? If ANZA goes to the same suppliers, are they going to get the same price?
Well, I've kept ANZA involved all the way.
Okay.
So David did go and meet a couple, 2 or 3 different people. We only got one quote back that he liked. I've kept ANZA involved. I've sent it to them because my concern was that they would be an approved supplier. Therefore, ANZA wouldn't be able to easily anyway procure them. But they are an approved supplier and they have done work elsewhere. So that bit was sort of okay. We've worked with them before, but they would still want to go through their process for it. Which, as explained to Councillor Edwards, doesn't necessarily mean that the one you want would be picked anyway. So this is more just a kind of to be indicative of how much money. Cause this is for 2 play areas, not the traditional 1 or areas. So it would basically the 100,000 budget would be really for this year going to Titherington.
Both of these play areas within Titherington itself, because I know Titherington Lawn covers Bolingbroke, so both on Titherington.
They're both in Titherington. To be fair, there isn't a natural play area in the Bolingbroke area apart from West Park, and where we've looked to put it, there has historically been a play area there that's been removed, and I think it's been removed because it's in front of some flats and because it's, you know, residents didn't want it. So to put it back there probably isn't the best idea. So there isn't sort of a natural play area in Bolingbroke to do something, so he has looked. If it helps, and you know the history, I mean, lots of you would have had money for areas like Lanark Walk got 50,000, St Neots Weston got 50,000, Hurstville got 50,000, Moss got 60. This, so I said I'd put it on services for
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I mean, from my point of view, I have no problem of allocating the £38,000. Potentially, is it something that we have to be mindful about going forward in future years? Obviously, you know, we're only 4-year term, so if we are re-elected, would we look at potentially skipping Tiverton out? Again, these are questions that we need to Councillor Livingston.
Just to take that theme up, Chair, it's presumably Teresa Taylor will be 2 years from Titherington.
As far as I know, I'm not 100% sure then.
No.
Right, so
They're not.
if we
These both are, but there are more than two.
to most to, so the principle I think you're coming to is that if we agree to do this, that Titherington would go back in terms of when it next got allocation of funding. And you're right, Chair, we can only do that as a council to the end of our term. So there could be no further funding for Titherington play areas in this, the duration of this council. I presume that's what we're proposing if we agree to this.
Yes, I would suspect that. I mean, there are probably another 4 or 5 wards that would be covered between.
To be fair, we've gone in order.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Titherington didn't have any last 4 years.
Right, so it would be due.
So they are due, they are next in line. I think it's more that everybody, you covered 2 play areas of 100,000. This would be the first time you covered 1 area, but 2 play areas, if you get what I mean. 1 ward.
Good question for you, Laura.
Yeah.
There's mention in here of Answer having 40,000 in a budget.
Yes.
Has that been part of the negotiations? Have they talked about releasing some of that or all of that?
No, so basically ANZA have big plans for West Park and they want to have a showstopper type. They're getting rid of the old castle thing, not the castle on top of the hill, but the climbing frame, and they want a showstopper. And they had said, if there's any money left in your budget, can you consider West Park for it, because we would want this showstopper. So there's money, if you decided not to give it to Tiverton, there is money for it to usefully go to for the town, i.e. I would recommend we could send it to West Park. So, but ANZA have no money to give to David for Tiverton.
Because I'm thinking back to when we did Windmill Street,
Yeah.
King George's.
Yeah,
Answer contributed towards that.
right. No, there's no contribution for these play areas.
It's quite tricky, isn't it, when the ward councillors are on here to discuss it with them.
I mean, I could move it to full council. It's only 2 weeks away.
I think that might be a good idea. Yeah. It's not
Because
in
we-
some substantial amount of money.
It's not as if we're saying no, we don't want to do it. It's more a case of we'd like to hear from both councillors, if they're there, or one or the other councillor to.
It might be more appropriate for the whole council to have a say on it,
Yeah.
not just this committee.
I'd be prepared to propose that it goes to full council. I think that would be the most appropriate way to deal with it.
Yeah. So proposal to defer to full council for Councillor Barber. Any other proposals? Anyone would like to second that proposal? Councillor Livingston, all those in favour of that? Thank you very much. If you can
Yeah,
defer to
sure.
full council, that'd be great. Thank you.
Because it's funny because it was delegated to services and now it's going back. But
I
no, that's fine because I think
it's because it's just an extra amount of money, yes.
There is a plan, but the difficulty is with me sharing the plan publicly is it's commercially sensitive. So I can't show you the plan. It's a good plan. These aren't sort of, you know, he has worked hard in getting plans together. It's just that if I show them publicly and then it goes out to a tender, you know, if there's other people who've got an advantage to undercut what they've offered. So, okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So moving on, item 7.2 is the South Park Pavilion.
Do you want to cover it or?
Do you want me to cover it? So, tender process complete. It will be on full council on the 16th. We are working with the chosen contractor. They're now doing the subcontracting part of it. Everything is fairly smooth. We're just working with Cheshire East to sort out the lease so we can build in January. So we want to start build in January. Abby's got a comms plan ready to go, and we're working with a consultant on the more finer aspects of how it runs. So yeah, so new year, it will begin.
It will begin.
It will begin.
No, it's not a case of it might.
No.
That's positive.
The last piece of the puzzle really is just sorting out the lease with Cheshire East, then we're good to go. We've got the money, we've got the planning, we've got the contractor, we've got Sandy.
If only we knew people who were connected to Cheshire East
I
Council.
know. Well, they all know. I've been telling them.
How was that?
So yeah. So it's just that there will be some disruption in the park while it's demolished and rebuilt. In the new year, there will be minor disruption in the car park, but you know it's temporary. Just for everybody to remember, it's a temporary thing to have this great new community pavilion, so people can bear with us. But Abby will put lots of comms out and make sure everybody knows.
It's a project that's been ongoing for a few years now, and to finally hear that hopefully spades in the ground in the new year is something to look forward to.
Just I think Town Club's covered it really well, but one of the things you do in these, when they put the subcontractor price out, they might yet be able to pitch if the prices come in higher. And so just bit of slight degree of caution. We'll just have to manoeuvre around it if that happens. There are options in terms of changing some of the specification to get that the right back in line. So we just, because I've just had that recently, one of the things I'm managing.
Right. Yeah, because we look for an agreed maximum price with the contractor. We were hoping that would be ready for full council. It's taken a little bit longer. We may have to have a special meeting in January where there will be one meeting of the council. That will be the only agenda item, just so we can agree that maximum price. But we want to get it right because the next full council's March, so we might have to put one in on a Monday in January, just to be safe, just to you know make sure. But I will let everybody know.
Any other questions or comments? Because it looks like you're reaching to say something there, Councillor Lake.
No, I'm just quite excited.
I think it'd be fantastic for the park. More importantly, it'd be fantastic for the town. As I know, and I think potentially as yourself know, trying to potentially COVID there, trying to find spaces in town to hold events is very challenging. Obviously, the town hall here that we don't own, so to have somewhere that's, yes, it's a little bit further out of town, but something that we own and we've got kind of a bit more control over is a fantastic asset that we will be able to have. Councillor?
Just to summarise and agree, Chair, but start thing obviously investment into Lagos. So you look at the investment we make in terms of the free events, we have a start thing of investing in the town as a signal to other people to invest as well. And I think that's the other part we should never miss in this.
And create jobs.
Yes. Not just in
Bring
construction.
more revenue in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, item 7.3, playing out.
So Helena has written she is meeting with the Community Sports Trust, Lee,
Again.
over the next few weeks to discuss working on playing out with them.
Brilliant. Councillor Benedict.
Can I ask, has there been much response from the schools, from Hairsfield specifically?
I don't know, I will find out.
Thank you.
So I think it'd be nice to try and find out if there's been any feedback from any of the schools just in our wards, just to see what the interest is like, and if we can potentially engage and speak with them and
Yeah,
Sure.
as well.
thank
Any
you.
comments, questions? No. 7.5 is street sports. So I do apologise. 7.4 allotments.
So for allotments, we've got waiting list is much more manageable due to the increased inspections and higher turnover of tenants. So I read that as, now they've been inspecting more people have left. So there is a higher turnover of tenants, but I do, just as a kind of anecdotal being around, it's calmer, the allotments are calmer. So she's definitely, her and Damon have got it on a more manageable track.
Is that potentially because people have been letting their plots be overgrown and not being
Yes.
tended, so
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that one of those plots are now
Yes.
built and
Yes.
starting to grow things. Any comments, questions? No? Okay. Item 7.5, street sports.
So we've got a survey has been circulated to all the children attending. Results will be collated in January and will be used to inform the structure and content of future sessions. Not sure why Tuesday's sessions are so quiet, but they're looking into it and suspect it's a busy swimming lesson day. When they discover the reasons, the sessions will then be adapted.
Thank you. Just looking at the 4 weeks that were noted on the reports, I think it's to remember that Jasmine Park was quite well attended and South Park wasn't, and that was switched round a bit, because I think remember yourself, Councillor Plenaway, commented that Badminton Parks.
Yeah, it's gone down.
I know, because you were well high at one
Yeah,
point.
they were the highest out
Yeah.
of all the wards, but
Yeah.
now it's gone down. So whether it's the weather or those children have moved on to
Yeah.
something else, I don't know. That's what I'll help with the say.
All being well. Any other questions or comments? No. 7.6, Park Fit.
So October time we moved to our inside venue, which is All Hallows, and we've been getting consistent numbers of about 10 or 12. However, we had a spate of cancellations from All Hallows due to ongoing works in the sports hall and exams in the main hall. We were very short noticely cancelled 1 week, which meant that we actually had to cancel the session completely. I did a bit of looking around and we managed to source an alternative location which says on the report could be Park Royal School. It is Park Royal School. We've had 2 sessions there so far, and although the hall is quite a bit smaller than All Hallows, they've worked all right so far. The mayor has been both weeks, so he can confirm.
Does that approve?
The mayor does approve.
Mayor does approve. Yes, thank you,
The only
Mayor.
downside is there's nowhere to hide because it's small.
But it's quite a bit warmer in that hall than at All Hallows. But we're going to keep it at Park Royal until the 12th of December, when we'll break for Christmas, because nobody apparently wants to work out in the 2 weeks before Christmas. And then I'm having a meeting with Matt Rigby this Wednesday, and we'll work out whether we want to go back to All Hallows until spring or whether we stay at Park Royal.
Obviously, communication will go on.
Yeah, it will be updated on the website. All the events are on the Facebook pages, and we'll put out comms as well. And then, we will move back to the park in the spring, and then potentially by next winter we might be in the new pavilion.
Fantastic.
That would be great, wouldn't it? So yeah, fingers crossed.
Just like to thank you, Abby, for the work that you've done in sourcing a new venue due to difficulties with All Hallows. I'm sure that the park fitters, including the mayor, do appreciate what you've done. Although, as you say,
Appreciate it Friday morning.
well, they may not appreciate it that much that there's nowhere to hide anymore. Not that the
course not.
Opposite that.
Any other comments or questions? No. Okay. Thank you. We've had item 7.7. So moving on. Item 8 is the street scene, and 8.1 is the public realm.
So a lot of this is covered in the Britain and Bloom, the flowers, etc. The Mac on Foot project is going ahead, but there was roughly $500,000 and it's now $250,000 or less because some of the funding was reallocated for the indoor market. So it stayed in Macclesfield, that's a good thing. So benches, we're just waiting for the fact, but basically there'll be benches, bins, festoons, but it will be reduced amount. We're waiting to see what will actually come of it when we see some plans. But one of the things they were keen on doing was more murals around the town. And because we have some money left in our public realm budget, you know, we sort of spoke to Cheshire saying, well, you know, we could sort of add to what you're doing, and they felt the best addition that would have the most sort of impact would be another mural, or, you know, rather than, you know, a couple of new benches type thing. So they'd already done a lot of the legwork for this project, i.e. they'd got the permissions, it's to go kind of diagonal from the Ian Curtis one on the Olive Deli. They've got the permissions and they'd gone and started looking for different artists, etc. to basically complete it, and they had a theme which was Woman's Town, and so this is a proposal to basically pick up that project and have a mural done there. Same theme is the suggestion, but if you wanted a different theme, that's fine. It's the mural in principle, and if we do, there's money in the budget for it, and if we do, to have 3 councillors help basically just choose with us, because it's the cost we suspect it'll be 10,000 or under. You just need to get 3 quotes, so there isn't a procurement process to go through for it. So that's the proposal for that.
Just something that I'm thinking of, I don't know if anyone else is as well. Is that wall best where Olive Deli is?
The reason was that when you look, the bottom of Mill Street is a bit unloved.
Underused.
Yeah, and it's difficult. So when you're looking up Mill Street, that wall will pop out for you. So it was picked, that particular wall was picked for that reason, for that kind of area. So that was the reason. Yeah. The one we really want is Castle Street wall. Still trying to get that, you know, outside O2. Yeah.
Councillor Benaway.
As one of the things that I really like about Macclesfield, I didn't really know much about it before I moved here, but one of the things I've really enjoyed doing is researching the women in the silk mills and the women's town, the history of women, social history of women in the town. It's something I'd really like to be involved with as well. I was at, I did a few things at the Silk Museum. They did those Rosie's plaques,
Yes.
the blue plaques, and I did one for Councillor Harewood. And the other, at that time, they showed the suffragette silk painted banner as well, which is fantastic. And there's a lot of really good women artists and different people in the town that could easily contribute to that. So that's certainly something I'd like to lend a hand to.
Thank you.
I think it's a great idea. I think particularly that subject. Points to the history of the place. And as a counterpoint to that story of the Macclesfield School, I think it's brilliant. I think so. Yes, great idea. Full support.
Anybody else? Anyone would like to propose? Councillor Benaway, seconded. Councillor Wilson. So proposing to go ahead with the ventilation and budget no more than £10,000. Are you going to contact all councillors to find out who would like to be on the?
Yes, unless there's 3 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Let's vote on the proposal first of all. So all those in favour? Okay, that's unanimous carry. And who would like to be on the panel? Councillor Benny-Wake, Councillor Livingston. If not, we can throw out to the councillors as well.
We'll stand up there.
So,
Yep.
Councillor
Yep.
Benny-Wake
Just to alleviate, well, I don't think, imagine it being a long process. This one is quotes, so it's not the same as doing the long tender process.
Yeah.
You know, because I know you've not got a lot of time, all of you, so.
8.2, Town Rangers.
Yes, so, Town Rangers, we are going through the process of having one left, so we're getting a new one. Damon's still our lead ranger, and he's brilliant, he's really, really good, and him and Jimmy work really well together, so it's very important for us that whoever comes on board, that Damon is now helping with the recruitment, because it's key that they have to spend all day together in a van, they need to get on. So they're just getting on with everything, and the winter work, it's the signage, painting, things like that, leaf clearing, tidying up, and helping support events as well, putting things out. Bigger events it's great to have them around. Still looking for somewhere for them to live, because they're going to have to get out of the pavilion as well, because I didn't realise they did their painting in the pavilion.
So they're not homeless.
No, they're not homeless as people. But
Story.
yes, story. So yeah.
Can I just ask, is Sean left us now?
Yes.
Is there any way that you were able to get in contact and pass our thanks?
Yes, he still works for Ronzo, he's gone street cleansing.
Right.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Thank you. And again, apart from that, thanks to the Rangers for all their hard work and dedication every year, not just in Britain and Blue, but keeping the town as wonderful as it looks.
Absolutely.
Anybody, any other comments or questions? No? Okay. Item 8.3 is the 01625 gallery.
So again, this is curated by Lucy Fitzpatrick. I'm going to get that wrong. We've just agreed a new service level agreement with her. This is more the one that's been the most popular. Was the one with the netting and the fishes, and that was by an artist, a proper artist. It was, So Lucy's going to curate local artists to do an installation this year. So there'll be 4 after this one. The next one in December is What You Love About Macclesfield, and the public can get involved in that. Everybody can send something in. And so that will be mid-December that goes up. Then after that it will be an artist will do an exhibition, if you like, in it, whatever that kind of looks like. And then after that we'll suggest that maybe we do something with the schools.
Yeah, so just like councillors know, I just had a quick discussion with the town clerk before the meeting started, just to see if we could get some of the schools, primary schools, high schools to put their take on Macclesfield phone box. That'd be quite nice to see.
Just for reference to the Bulgar art petition to the pavilion, just about there with in terms of getting art schools through Macclesfield Community Art Space to do something for the civic awards, but also eventually, depending on, you'll get a chance to house it in the pavilion as well on a rotation basis. So yeah, I think that's a great idea involving primary schools. Generally.
Any other comments or questions regarding the 165 gallery?
Again, it's another example of it's not just, I keep saying, I feel like I repeat myself at every services committee, but art and culture and Britain and Bloom and all the lovely festivals and activities we put on with a free bus service. It's about well-being, it's about community cohesion, and people seeing what we can do, what we can do together, and that's what makes Macclesfield special. And we have to keep reminding ourselves that, because we can catastrophise and be a bit glum sometimes, especially in winter months. But it's a really lovely place to live.
Just one echo. No, say about the town. Maybe they don't like one area or they're not too keen on certain aspects, but as you've quite rightly said, the work that they do, the work that the community does, it's not just down to the town council, the work that businesses do throughout the town as well. We're right to be able to shout about it. I think I've said this before, but there was one year that Macclesfield was one of the least art or cultural
desert.
Yes, I think if they were to come and judge us now, they'd be shell shocked and in a positive way for us as Maxonians. So yes, very proud. So it's my item 8.4. Museum on the Street.
So Museum on the Street was is funded by Shared Prosperity Fund, which is administered through Cheshire East Council. All the money has to be spent by the end of March, or it'll go, so it will be spent, that's not a problem. We are in the stage of finalising the boards and installations, so we have, I think is it 6 boards and 3 light boxes. We're taking over the light boxes at Park Green as well. So one of the things in the light box is sneak preview will be a beautiful picture of the fountain as it was when there was a fountain down there, if you can remember that, and it's absolutely stunningly beautiful. So it'll be things like that, and quirky little facts about Macclesfield, very, very Macclesfieldy. We've everybody who, or most people, have really enjoyed it when they've seen it, and so hopefully that will all be done in January. We will have a little map to go with it. We've paid a local company called Skysax to do a lovely map, and there will be a map with the installations on you can follow, and a map without, so we'll have a sort of town map as well, town centre map. And recently we are now adding audio to the boards, so it won't be like you press the board and there'll be audio, but what there'll be is a QR code that'll link you to audio. So the next part of the project is to look for local people to read a board out for us. So we're very excited about this, and we've got some people in mind, like we're hoping the Virgin Mary's will read out the music board, things like that, and they'll have a little bio on it. So it doesn't necessarily have to be people with local accents, it just has to be people who maybe moved to Mac and you know, did something, or our local heroes or whatever. So if there's anybody you think, do you know what, they would really love this, we can put a little bio on about them and they can read out a board for us. And what will happen is we've found the most amazing woman who is going to bring a mobile studio and spend a day with us just recording it all, and she'll write the scripts, because there's a certain way, you know, you're going to have the pictures explained, you know, it's not, you don't just read it off, you know, for visually impaired people to get the real experience, it's going to be a certain way of doing it. So it's very exciting to add this. This doesn't necessarily need to be done by the end of March, it's the spending the money that needs done by the end of March, but if you think about anybody, or anybody wants to, you know, write to me and say, I think this person would be a really good addition, just put it through and we'll see who we get, you know, and who wants to do it. So I think it just adds another dimension of local voices to the project, and there's some quirky facts on there. There's some facts that, you know, you think, didn't know that. That's pretty weird.
Can I just ask a question about QR code?
Yes.
Is it on the screen, or is it actually on the board?
So it will be on the board, and it will basically take you to our website, which will have a sound file or a Spotify list.
I'm just conscious through training standards
Yes.
for the world I live in, Cheshire East.
Okay, you're going to tell me new planning permission.
No, there's a lot of scams going around.
Yes.
QR codes.
Yes.
Where people just simply put them over.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Which can, you know, more so for when you're paying for goods.
Yes.
But, it's just.
Well, it's something I think to be aware of. The boards will be our asset, and therefore our rangers will be looking after them, keeping them clean, keeping them, you know, because some of the boards you see are all, they've not been loved. Ours will be very loved, you know. But I think that's important. And if we can think of a better way to do it, I'm not that keen on QR codes myself, because I'm a bit old-fashioned in that way, but it's just making it as accessible as possible.
So can the QR codes not be behind the perspex? So if someone's going to stick something over it, it should be a bit more more obvious that it's not the correct QR code as an idea?
I'll have a look at it, but a lot of them are on, you know, like vinyl on posts, so it's not as easy. But we'll speak to the printer and see
I
if
think
we can do some kind of.
And maybe just put something next to the QR code that says, you know, this link will take, you know, you won't be asked to pay for anything.
Yeah.
So even if something is stuck over it, that bit should still be
Yeah,
visible,
yeah.
and then because we're not asking anyone to pay or sign up for
Yeah.
anything, it will take you directly to where you need to go. So
And see, what I'm quite keen to do is in letting people know about this is have like videos done, and that people would know where they are before they get to the board, if you know what I mean. You'd go to the Museum on the Street website, you'd see there was board 1, board 2 Spotify list, so you'd kind of be prepared, because most people with a disability do a lot of preparation for if they go anywhere. So, you know, hopefully we sort of educate around that. But yeah, I'll definitely keep it in mind. I thought you were going to say we need planning permission and we're about to carry.
Well, looking at it looks like we're still looking at 2 areas for highways.
Yeah, Castle Street and Mill Street. I have every faith it will be done. I do. And because there's good councillors around who will help. And I just to be clear, I don't think it's a person thing at Highways. I think there's just,
A lot of work.
and we haven't got an actual thing for them to put up yet. There isn't something I can go, it's here, go do it. So I secretly have faith in them.
Maybe a bit more gentle persuasion from yourself, Councillor Bennett, because you mentioned
Yeah.
last time.
And Councillor Warren and everybody's very helpful. So I think once the boards are ready, it's just that final push. I've told them to put them up in January, but secretly we have till the end of March. I want them to all go up together. It would lose impact if 6 went up and 2 didn't, you know, so, but it'll be fine. I'm feeling positive today.
I think we should always have faith and
Yes.
I'll speak to you about it outside.
Were you wanting to speak on this, Councillor Bennett?
I was just going to ask about Braille, actually.
Yes. So the reason we haven't gone with Braille is that not as many people use it these days. There's 2 versions, there's contracted and uncontracted, and I just think that in discussion, the most accessible way would be the audio. If anybody came and said they wanted a Braille transcription of the boards, we'd get one done. You know, there's no issue with that. You know, or if anybody wanted in large print or different colours, we'll do that. There's no issue with any of that. Just have to ask. So yeah, we did go to the Eye Society to see if the talking newspapers could do the recording for us, but it didn't really work out. So it's a shame.
Yeah, as long as we're sort of
Please.
liaising with
Yeah.
I mean, it's got,
Yeah.
I know that you
Yeah, yeah.
you're liaising.
Yeah,
make
because
sure
we'd like
that-
to review them because it's their 150th birthday as well. But this lady has all the experience and we want it right, so learn off her, come on, what she does.
Any other comments or questions? No? Okay. Moving on, item 9 is the town regeneration, and 9.1 is town centre free Wi-Fi data.
I know you wanted to keep this to an hour, so I'm going to just whiz through this. Wi-Fi, pretty much for September and October, generally numbers have stayed the same compared to this time last year. Down a little bit from the summer, but nothing to be overly concerned about. And as I said, roughly the same as it was last year.
Thank you very much. Any comments or questions on Wi-Fi? No? 9.2 town centre signage. Don't tell me we're still as we
Yep. Yeah, still ongoing. However, it is it's on the 2025 to-do list. My first day back in the office after 2025. This is it. This is all I'm going to focus on, and I will get an answer by the next services meeting. I hope. We're also looking at doing mural at top of Castle Street. There's the work, obviously, that we're doing alongside Cheshire East in terms of the Mac on Foot project. So there's lots of bits and bobs going on, and the new map that we're developing that Laura's spoken about as well.
Just works going on in the indoor markets as well. So obviously, our maps can be.
Our maps have come out of the indoor market, yeah. There will be artwork going in there, more detail about each of the traders in there and where they're located once the new layout's been finalised and everything. So hopefully there will be no need for our lovely maps. Hopefully they will have it covered. All being well.
Sorry, Councillor Lake, were you?
No, I was crossing my fingers, thank you.
No. Any comments or questions? No. 9.3, Community Transport Subcommittee.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. So obviously we had a few more events at the free bus days, which would be interesting to get the feedback and the figures from them, because hopefully they've contributed to some really positive events that we've had. We met a few weeks ago to discuss a few things, so some of the key highlights, and then Town Clerk and Abby have been working on sort of bus stop stuff. So Councillor Bennett Wake, you raised around the timetables and how they're very small. So we've been looking at that and how we can get more large print, which is something hopefully the operators can help with. We're going to hopefully get D&G to come to a meeting at some point where we can discuss that and a few other things around how we can continue the free bus days, get their feedback. It'd be good for the committee to have that chance to meet with Dan and D&G and just have a good discussion with him. The bus partnership I wasn't able to attend because of work. I don't know if anyone was able to attend that. I'll let you come in on that.
I'll be attending.
Councillor Bennett Wake as well.
I don't know if that was any.
It was really useful because there was someone there from the Department of Transport, and looking forward that it's once we're sort of get devolved, if you like, we're going to have more money and more control of bus services. And thinking about that meeting was to look at what people thought. Basically, I had to go to work, unfortunately for kids. That, you know, what do people want? You know, my residents are saying, for example, they need large print bus timetables that they can see, bus timetables on every bus stop. My suggestion was that you had more frequent, smaller, eco-friendly buses to get around the state. So it's about moving forward and not moving backwards, really. And it's really great that we were able to fund the free bus service, because I think someone was saying, actually I didn't know if that meeting or another one, someone was saying that every time we have a free event and a free bus service, the actual uses of the buses go up in Macclesfield. And we've also had, I haven't had any feedback about the Silktown bus pass, and there's free bus passes for care leavers as well. So there's quite a lot of encouragement there to use the buses. And a lot of people still do. Not everyone can afford a car or can afford to drive. A lot of people who are older or who have a disability use the buses. So more modern leaning buses. You've got the FlexiLink, and of course I'm funding a little thing with Harry Lawson called To Get Out and About with accessible buses. But I think we should be optimistic. I think we should start looking forward now and looking at positive change and get on the bus more, basically.
Just a couple more things, if that's right, Chair.
Yeah.
So another point that's on the report is around, it'd be really great to sort of link in with everything if we could get D&G to actually have a bus as like an exhibit at one of our free events. So they've got really nice new buses on the 38 route, for example, and something that I've done in the past is actually have a bus outside one of the events that I've coordinated, where people can actually look at it, people can understand and speak to D&G directly about the routes they want. They can look at the bus and see that the investment's gone in. So that's something that hopefully we'll be able to discuss with them and look into. And then just to move away from buses, obviously we've got the attempt to pull together a bike loan scheme, and I think that's something that we'll probably hopefully be able to pick up in the new year at some point, because I think next year it'd be great to see some more work on active travel as well to continue our work in improving community transport across the town. But yeah, it's been really positive, and we'll continue to meet, and any feedback or ideas that the council have, please just let us know.
Thank you very much for the report there, Councillor Barber. Does anybody have any questions or comments about community transports? No. Okay. Item 10, council identity and communications.
Last thing on the agenda. So Facebook and Instagram users continue to increase about 4%, which is pretty much our standard from committee meeting to committee meeting. Our Twitter followers have decreased. Oh, shock, but this is not due to us. It's more due to the fact that everybody is leaving Twitter. Mass exodus. So we've decreased our followers by 2%. So I've been looking into Blue Sky and Threads and other alternatives to Twitter. So it's whether we decide to go down that route or not. But we still got 848 followers on Twitter, so it's not too bad. So when I ran the stats for this report, in the last 28 days, for some unknown reason, Facebook could not provide me with the reach of our posts, but just left a blank space. But the engagement was around about 10,000, which is great, and reactions and comments and things are about where they normally are. Top content by reach was road closures in place for remembrance. It's obviously quite an emotive subject, and we know everybody in Macclesfield gets behind remembrance. The Jurassic skeletons that we had at Spooky Saturday. Our first Christmas post, Macclesfield in bloom winning gold, and then the day we went to pick the pumpkins. The Mayor of Macclesfield's Facebook continues to be popular. It's currently got 784 followers, an increase from the previous 758. So that's great. The Mac update was printed and sent out at the end of November by email to everyone who'd signed up to the mailing list. We've given copies out at Spooky Saturday. They're available in the VIC. We gave copies out at Christmas. They're in cafes and shops, and when we handed out the road closure letters for the winter events to the local houses, we also hand-delivered a copy to them as well. In terms of our sort of other marketing that we do, as well as social media, we've got paid partnership with Red Letter Days on social media. We had a meeting with Marketing Cheshire regarding Marketing Macclesfield back in September, and we've got another one planned or in the process of planning one. We promoted Town Centre Litter Pick. We did a video and a face-to-face with Councillor Bennett Wake for the Herdsfield Litter Picks. There was all the promotion for Nature Needs You, which we did in September and October. We've done, again, our posters continue to be everywhere we can possibly get them. The trifolds went up for the Christmas events. We send out information on all the events to local schools, and we will be sending out a targeted communication with regards to the street sports sessions as well to the local schools, now that we've sort of condensed those and put in new location. The secondary schools and primary schools all received a copy of What's On at Christmas Guide to share with parents and carers. What else? Yeah, I think that was pretty much everything. And then our usual Christmas bits on Silk FM. So Rachel went on to promote our Christmas events. Silk are also running adverts for our Christmas events. There's a Christmas message from the Mayor, councillors and staff that's running. And we're also running advertisements for Twilight Market, which is on the 12th of December.
Thank you very much. So does this mean now that you can promote Christmas not just on Friday?
Correct, yes. We have a self-imposed arrangement that we won't talk about apart from on Fridays, because you get a lot of people going, oh, it's only November. So we try and rein it back a little bit, and then as we get closer to step into Christmas, then we just,
So, well, you've gone full festive for this evening, so I know you can't can't be seen on the video. But again, thank you very much for dedicating hard work on our communications.
Pleasure.
To show the increases that we keep finding month on month, quarter on quarter. You do a fantastic job. So thank you very much. Any other comments or questions? Somebody make?
Just say really big thank you to the team because the promotion is working really well. Everybody knew about Saturday. You know, as I said before, people come at different times. The tri-boards are excellent. There's a lot of people noticing them more. The Silk FM, was there a cost to running adverts?
There is a cost, yeah. So they do, the Step Into Christmas one is included as part of our sort of sponsorship package. They come on the day and Super Bowl paid towards the stage, so it's sort of included in that. Anything extra we then pay for. So we've paid for the ones to advertise the Twilight Market, and then we also pay for the Christmas message as well.
But it's really important that that's accessible to everybody because not everyone's on social media. Listen to the radio in the kitchen or in the car, wherever you listen to the radio on the train.
Any other comments or questions? No? Okay. That just leaves the final agenda item 11, the date, the time, and place of the next meeting. So the next meeting of the Services Committee will be held on the 27th of January 2025. So yeah, Huddersfield Town Hall. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, Sharon.